All righty. Whew. Had kind of a last minute rush there getting a few things in order before I could go live, which I'm doing right now. Oh, my tripod's crooked. Watch me do adjustments live. That's better. Okay. It is October 11th. This is ErinCon 5, day 3, the final day of perhaps the most exciting ErinCon ever. If I had an applause button, I'd hit it. All right, we got 2 eyes on me. That's not very many, so we'll stall a little bit here. But if you didn't check out the first 2 days, they're stored on my on YouTube. All you have to do is look up Erin Lopresti on YouTube, and you can find my entire selection of videos available for you and all your friends to watch. If you have not liked or subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do it. It's absolutely free. So just do it and everybody will be happy, including yourself, I'm sure. Okay, today we're going to do a lot of the same, few sketchbook sketches I still have waiting to get done. I'm going to try and take you from start to finish on a con commission, and we'll see if time permitting if I can get through the whole thing or not, but we'll get through a good portion of it. And the Supergirl auction ends tonight, but I also have another auction I'm introducing that'll be running concurrently that is only for today. So the Supergirl auction will wrap up today, and so will this new one, which I'm about to drop on you. I want to get a few more eyeballs. Zane Zelinsky is here. Wow, how about that? He's giving me a round of applause. I appreciate that, Zane. So let's take a quick look around the table here as we get ready for the big event of me drawing. I just realized I didn't have any sketchbooks out because I've sold them all and sketched in them. So let me grab a few more. First off, this is available this weekend. It's available every weekend. It's available every day of the week. All you have to do is email me if you're interested in one, or message me on Facebook or Twitter or one of the other thousands of social media platforms I'm on. Anyway, this is my hardcover sketchbook. This is my latest and last sketchbook I'm going to do. It's not the last book I'm going to do, but it will be the last sketchbook I do. Anyway, so it's 64 pages, full color, hardcover. It's about 8 by 10. It's a fairly decent sized book. It has a spine on it with writing that proves it's legit. Art on back and front cover, not to mention all the art inside. You have 2 options with this. This is a $25 book, comes signed, numbered, limited edition to 750 copies. That's it. Once they're sold, that's it. No second printing. And you also have the option of getting a head sketch of your favorite character or your least favorite character, or just a character that you may want in the book. I can sketch it in there, and the price for that, the low price for that is $45. Okay, so the regular edition, which is still signed and numbered, is $25. Sketch edition, $45. No shipping this weekend only. And today would be the last day of this weekend. So you can save on shipping if you want to get one of these. So this is a great opportunity to grab one. What you have to do is, Erin has to post a banner so you know what you have to do. So let me do that. There's the old sketchbook banner right there, running across the bottom of the screen. So you PayPal me at Erin@erinlopresti.com. Make sure you let me know why you're sending me money so I don't have to guess. And if you want to sketch in there, you say, I would like a sketch of Batman in my sketchbook. And then I will do it and ship it to you, and everybody will just be, like I said, just wonderfully happy. Okay, so anyway, so we have these available. Highly recommend them because I did them. And let's see what else we got. Let me also put this up as a reminder real quick. This is the Supergirl piece that is being auctioned off. We are currently... There's the Supergirl auction banner scrolling at the bottom there. The current bid right now is at $275. for this. So if you would like this and you feel confident in bidding more than $275, please do. Don't let me stop you. How do you bid? Well, you just bid in the comments section. Go, $285 bid on Supergirl, or Supergirl 285 or something like that. That kind of lets me know you're bidding on the Supergirl piece, and you can get in on the action, and maybe you'll be the high bidder. So that goes through the end of the show today. Once I tune out, whoever's the high bidder, that's who gets it for that price. Johnny Fitz has joined us. Hey, Johnny, thanks for joining us. I'll try and keep you laughing as best I can. Angelo's here. Louis Brightraven. So you must have finished your, he had a live stream going on earlier today. There, yeah. He says, just finished my live draw and was running the after show credits when you started. How about that for timing? You better believe it. Rodney's here. I'm here, but on stealth mode, charging my phone, but watching it on an iPad. There you go. That's innovation right there. Okay, so we've got this. That's Supergirl's up for auction. You can come in and chime in an auction at any point and say, hey, I want to bid more than that. You can wait till the last 5 minutes and jump in and steal it, whatever you want to do. Now, let's take a look at the exclusive auction. I guess these are all exclusive auctions, but this is the one that's going on today. Now, this is pretty cool. What you've got here is 6. Pardon me a second. My wife has just jumped in here. Oh, you're on screen. You're on screen. Oh. Look out.
There he is. Okay, I was just looking for the dog.
My dog has horrible breath, but he's sitting here. He's chewing on my plastic chair and grinding up little pieces. My guess is he's eating plastic, so that's maybe why his breath is so horrible. But anyway, let's take a look. You keep peeking in on the sides over there. Okay, the first one is a damage. Shelley's entertaining the masses. This is the kind of highbrow entertainment you expect from these shows. So anyway, okay, on the left-hand corner, you'll see that's Damage from the series I did, maybe 2 years ago now. That was a splash page. Actually, I know what issue that was from. He was fighting Batman. And a lot of times I'll do these drawings and I will work them and work them and work them until I get them the way I want. But then there's so much pencil and erasing on the page that it's just, it's a filthy mess. So then I'll light table the image and then on a cleaner board for the, original art. And then I'll have these leftover, what are fairly detailed, what I call layouts. And that's what we've got here. These are all on bristle, 2-ply comic book pages. 11 by 17. You bid on this as a single lot. You get all 6 pieces. Okay, so let's move on. So we have the Damage. This is from the second one, the middle one. There was Superman and Wonder Woman and the dead body there in the foreground. That is half of a double-page spread from Justice League Annual number 2. Apparently, what happened here, I'm trying to remember, but I had the double-page spread going, and Batman and Green Lantern and Flash are on the other half of that. But they must have turned out okay. I think I kept drawing and redrawing Wonder Woman to a point that I felt like I'd really dirtied the page up to that. I said, I'm going to, light table this half of the double page spread onto a new board so it's cleaner. And then, so that's why there's half of it. It's not the entire double page spread, but it's the half with Superman and Wonder Woman on it. The next one is from Justice League 41 or 42. I think 41. And that's the Eradicator lifting up Wonder Woman. And again, a lot of times I do a splash page. I'll go through different poses and stuff on the same page, and then it becomes so dirty and messed up from erasing and blue line and stuff that I'll light table it and clean it up onto another board. And that's what happened there. So that was a splash page from that. That's why you see it's both in blue and in regular pencil. Down on the bottom, that was a page from Damage, but you see it's Superman, Batman, and the side panels, and you got Dead Man, and it's a completely finished page. I mean, it is done. And I just didn't like the Dead Man pose, so I dumped the page and started over. So that's what that's from. And then the one in the middle and the bottom, there is the Aquaman splash from Aquaman 56, I think it was, where I did. And I just, for some reason, didn't think Aquaman's pose was dynamic enough or regal enough, or I don't know. Now that I look at it, I think it's pretty good, and I don't know why I redrew it, but I did. So that's what that's from. And then, of course, the last one, all in blue, is a splash page from Wonder Woman issue. The last one full issues I did was like 76 or something. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but that's Hippolyta facing off with some sort of anti-Hippolyta from another dimension or something. But anyway, they're in the throne room and there's some guards back there. And so that was all done in blue line to kind of, again, lay out the splash page. And then I went ahead and I think I probably light tabled the figures onto another board and then, put in the details and stuff. So that's what you're looking at, 6 11 by 17s. And the bidding starts at $1, I guess, whatever you want to bid. So you can get a garage sale deal on this if no one shows up to bid against you. So, and if you want to bid on that, just go, hey, I'm bidding on well, you don't have to put hey, but you can say, superhero roughs or roughs lot, and then put what your bid is. And I will do my best to keep track of it throughout the course of the evening. So that's what that is. And did someone bid? I was going to change the banner.
Well, I was going to ask how I know that name.
Oh, Zane Zielinski.
Yeah.
Zane Zielinski from back in we were in Hillsboro.
Holy crap!
He was buying stuff from me back then. He's a Chicago lawyer. So yeah. Okay, so you bid what? $360 or $3.60?
$1.75.
See, Sam John says I'm bidding $10. So Zane, can you clarify your bid for me?
Shh. Oh, shh! Don't tell.
Everybody gets to see the bids. It's not a silent auction. Okay, TC. Zane's bidding $360. So wow.
More Shelley.
That's gonna be yeah. That's gonna be tough to beat. But yeah, I just drug Shelley out of bed, out of a nap to do some comedy for us here.
It's all rainy and gross. It's one of those days where it's like, ugh, don't want to move.
All right, well, Zane, you're automatically our high bidder at $360. Crazy. That's a pretty healthy bid. I'll accept it gladly, though, especially considering I'm unemployed right now. So
you should have married better.
I appreciate your generosity there. So I'm going to do this real quickly. Oops.
Yeah. Husker, what are you doing? You're so weird. What are you doing? Well, he's been doing this for a while, I take it.
It's not the first time.
Oh, Husker, you're so strange.
All right, so there it is. $360. Woohoo!
Boo to the yaya.
All right. Actually, that's not too far off for what I would charge for these separately, but that's groovy. I love it. That is a great start, boy. Do you have a photocopy of the other half of the 2-page spread? I got scans of the finished pencil for the, so I could, I could send you that. But anywho, all right. So I'm about to switch this off, which means you're going to be full view if you're unprepared.
Okay. Oh.
Do you want me to turn the?
Well, I'm thinking about getting the dog.
Okay. Well, I'll turn it. No, I'll turn down to the table here.
Out of the picture.
Because I got to show some stuff here. So.
I look horrible, but I look better than I did yesterday.
Well, we're improving day by day.
By the end of the month, it should be presentable.
Okay, so there's the original Supergirl that's up. I'm going to show you these prints again. Let's see. That's as far as I can go. All right, so the prints are all $15, free shipping this weekend only. So the top right, we've got, my right. Yeah. Warrior in Repose, that's assigned to number limited edition 1. The next one is Girl Power, where Wonder Woman is sitting on top of Superman. That's a classic. That's an open edition, so it is signed, but it's not numbered. In the corner there, we've got Warrior Nouveau, which is also an open edition, but it does come signed. The Jaws is signed as well, but not limited either. And I do have giant 24 by 36 copies of this Jaws. So if you want an actual movie poster size print, I've got them for $40. Way over there, Spider-Man, signed numbered limited edition to 100. Same with Captain America, just below Spidey. The Star Wars Princesses is limited to 100, comes signed and numbered. Rosie the Riveteer, one of my more popular prints throughout the years. Still have some of those left. That's signed and numbered, limited edition 150. The Coral Princess, also known as the adult version of The Little Mermaid. So I guess it would be the Big Mermaid. That's limited to 150, signed and numbered. Then, of course, San Diego 1946 with Supergirl in a 1946 bathing suit based off Alana Turner. So there's that. And so those are all, I can get 3 of those in a tube. So if you want to splurge and say, hey, I'm going to get 3 prints with no shipping, that's the way to do it. The other thing to take a look at here, as you can see, I have all these Justice League comics. I actually drew all of them. There's 6 of them. There's 41, 42, 48, 49, 50, and the annual number 2. Okay, you can get all 6 of those signed and mailed to your doorstep for $20. So you may be saying, okay, well, Aaron, how does that work? Well, let me show you how that works. Let me put up a banner that informs you of how that works. Here's how you get in touch with me. My email is aaron@aaronlopresti.com. My website is www.aaronlopresti.com, which you can email me through that, or you can just send me money at PayPal, and you guessed it, aaron@aaronlopresti.com. Just, again, if you're going to order prints or comics or whatever, tell me in the message box, in the PayPal message box, what you're sending me the money for, and make sure your address is current and correct on there, because it's those PayPal payment pages that I use to create the mailing labels and to know who ordered what. So there you have it. Oh, and I do have all these roughs down here, these little roughs that I had, like the Wonder Woman ones and stuff. They all sold except for, you can see all these blank pages. The Pirate Girl is gone. Piece from Wizards inexplicably is still here, although Shelley knows.
Shocking.
She's not a big Wizards fan.
Hate it.
Anyway, I have $100 on this, but I'm letting it go for 80 this weekend if you want it. That's a cool piece. I like that. So anyway, and this Fairy Girl, well, let go for 80 is still there in color. These are all 8.5 by 11. I still have the Archie 1950s Elvis cover. All the Wonder Woman ones, sorry, are gone. But I do have these 2 Supermen left, which is, they're pretty good pieces. So, and there's $50 and $40 respectively. 50 over here, 40 right there. So if you're interested in those are still available.
Hi, baby.
All the other Supermans are gone. All the other Wonder Womans are gone. And the Mermaid Creature from the Black Lagoon piece, which proved to be very popular, is gone. So anyway, those are still available if you so desire. If you want to get one of those, just message me. And if there happens to be 2 people that want them, whoever sends me the message the quickest, or the first one to send me the message, will actually be the one who is awarded. Oh, Zane Zielinski just pushed up the Supergirl to $287.79. Would you write Zane down in those?
Yep.
Those 2 bids. Just down here on the bottom someplace. So okay, so let me correct my banner for the Supergirl auction, because so I don't. What did he bid?
I don't know.
I just forgot.
Short-term memory issues.
What was it? It's
Blither.
Where is it?
No.
$287.79. Johnny, thanks for dropping by. Sorry you couldn't stay longer, man. Be well. Stay happy. How much would a Spidey print be? All the prints are $15. Free shipping this weekend.
Fairy Girl. Fairy Girl.
Yes, you can see the Fairy Girl, Zane. Okay, so you got the...
Yes, Brian on the Spidey Girl piece.
Oops.
What is the $300 bid on? There.
There it is. That's a pretty good shot of it. It's wonderfully colorful and very happy. It's a joyous piece. I'd get it if I were you. I'm just saying. So anyway, there's that.
I'm confused. Look.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's for the okay. That's for Supergirl. That's for the that lot of.
I'm a quick one.
What's the $300 bid on?
The Supergirl?
No, I'll show you the roughs. I have a lot of roughs,
Hmm.
and I'm going to show you. They're not as clear actually as the ones.
But wait, look.
Hmm?
Because they're both. You could say, okay, that's 360.
That's I know that's
the 287. Is that the?
No, the 360. Okay, 287 is Supergirl. 360 is these.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That
Right.
It could be either. So just go over maybe what's.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Tidwell, here's what I'm offering up today. Okay, there's that cross again. God is sending me a message. These are all, I'll flash them up on screen in a minute, but these are what the actual, these are 2-ply, 11 by 17. That first one was it was Hippolyta, but it was from a Wonder Woman issue. It's all blue line. That's a damaged piece from one of the damage issues. That's a Dead Man, Superman, Batman page from one of the damage issues. That's half a double page spread from Justice League Annual 2. In fact, let me show you how it all looks. Because I happen to have the annual right here. So there's Superman and Wonder Woman there. And this was the original drawing I did for it, but then I ended up light tabling it because I overworked the Wonder Woman figure. Aquaman splash from Aquaman 56, but I changed the pose on Aquaman. That's why I got rid of this. And then this is the underdrawing to a splash page in Justice League 41, which I can show you that too, because I have that right here. If I can find the dumb page. There it is. Okay. So essentially, I light tabled that onto a cleaner board and cleaned everything up, and that became the final art, which was inked by Matt Ryan. So anyway, I've got those 6 pieces are currently a single lot. You get them all, and the bid on that was $360 by Zane Zielinski. And I'll put those up again on screen in just a minute because you can see them better.
Supergirl.
And the Supergirl is at 287. There's the Supergirl.
Yep.
Which is so. Let's go take a quick look. Did you say there was 3 for $40 deal on the prints? No, I said they're free shipping. I can put 3 of them in a single tube, so they're $45. They're $15 a piece. So you get them for $45, but you don't have to pay the shipping. I'm paying the shipping on them. So Rodney just got off work to find out you got outbid on the Superman or Supergirl piece. So let me update. Okay, so that's the Supergirl piece. And our current bid is, Shelley, give me that current bid again.
$287.79.
Zane's acting like he's on eBay.
How about we've done that?
I want that.
Scroll.
There it is. Okay, so there you go.
Anybody got good weather? It sucks here.
Okay, so that's the Supergirl. I will
just ignore me.
Well, you're not talking to me. You're talking to the masses.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so. But actually, Sam, you know what? I would do 3 for $40 on the prints. Sure, why not? It's the last day of the show. If you want 3 prints, I'll do 3 for $40. It's nice in Chicago. So
here.
if there's 3 of them you want, message me on Facebook or email me at aaron@arnoldpresty.com and I'll hook you up. So
okay. Sam, next ask, weren't you going to buy your wife that humongous diamond? That would be your next one. He's
I
in
bought
an
her enough.
mood.
No, I bought enough diamonds for her. Boom. Okay, that's the lot of the 6. That's now currently at 360. And Zane Zielinski is our high bidder on both of those. These will run to the end of the show today, and you can bid at any time in the comments section. There you go.
There you go.
In Chicago, a bit chilly, but really very nice.
Oh, it's raining and windy,
but it has been very nice here. So
Yeah.
you got to have a couple.
I guess I'm just bitter. I'm bitter.
It's bitter.
Our daughter's in Phoenix.
She's a bitter root. Well, she just FaceTimed you again, but you were asleep, and so I took it. She's
like right now?
No, half hour ago. She was complaining about her homework, so I just
Oh.
actually had one to ask me a question about it. So
Okay.
I was unable to help her, other than to give her advice to don't be intimidated by your instructor. We're paying their salary.
The lady she can't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna go down there and throw some hands.
Okay, so here we go. See, Benjamin
Yep.
Lee says it's raining in Seattle.
Yeah, I think
so-
Portland, Seattle. Although Seattle's usually worse, right?
Yes.
All right, I'll stop complaining for a little bit. Not very long.
There's
but
my dog in
nice
his little
in New York.
stripy. He looks like a Curious George.
His little onesie.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm taking this off for right now.
I'm curious where his balls went.
Okay,
Oscar.
so let's get to work, shall we? Enough of this idle chit chat. Oh, look at this.
That is-
Somebody wanted me to do a 4x6-inch shot of a toaster. So that's toaster with a piece of bread, very nervous looking, and they're going to be in outer space. So that's a sketch that I will finish up some point. I also want to show you, I did finish the Supergirl and the Wonder Woman Red Sun. So let's take a look at those. Well, I've got a captive audience here. So that's Wonder Woman. Yeah, go back to comments.
Said you.
Sent you a PM when AL said you were in Chicago. I'm in Logan Park. I just moved here. Did I say you were in Chicago? I didn't say you were in Chicago.
Zane is.
Oh, Zane is in
Yeah,
Chicago. Zane. Oh, I see. They're
Joe.
talking to each other, not us.
He's a full mini schnauzer, and he's crazy. Like, he's supposed to be supposedly in pain, and they said keep him from running and jumping, and that's all he does is launch himself off everything. And we should have got him 11 years ago when we were younger.
Exactly. We needed to get like a fat, lazy dog is what we need.
That's what we had before.
Yes. All right. So
baby.
there's Wonder Woman Red Sun. So I'm pretty happy how that turned out. Again, I feel bad for you guys not being able to actually really see the sort of
The awesomeness.
Well, the nuances, which I guess translates into the awesomeness of it. Look at all that shaky, earthquakey stuff. I was trying to get this in there. So anyway, you get a pretty good idea.
Well, you guys can go hang out now.
Yeah.
Zane and Brian.
Why don't I move this instead of move the art? I'm such an idiot. Okay, so there you go. This is like the new Supergirl.
It's a little more red. In real Z says orange on the screen.
It's not an exact
and the
reproduction. The subtleties of the grays you don't get as much, especially on the skin tone grays. But anyway, that's the Supergirl piece, which I think it turned out pretty nicely as well. So those were the ones I finished up today. And so that's kind of where we're at.
Social distance to see them.
Exactly. Mo Park. Remember her from Hawaii? She was she did design work on Game of Thrones and stuff.
Oh my gosh, yes. She was awesome.
And I'm going to be on her. She's got something coming up in a month or so. I'm going to be on. Angelo, man, those are nice. Hey, thank you. Hyper Potato says, well, she's pretty. Nice work. Well.
We're talking about me.
Okay. Woo! All right. Let's do one of these, shall we?
Oh, wait, so hold on.
Don Korn. Hi, he's from Illinois.
Who is the schnauzer?
That was Joe the Shark. was the Schnauzer guy.
All right, so you have to show him because we haven't seen Husker.
Oh, we needed a shot of.
Of our Husker.
There he is. Doot,
Oh,
doot,
doot, doot,
doot,
doot.
doot. Well, that's me. Oh, there's Shelly wearing black.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There he is. He's not very excited, but he's got his fantastic onesie on to
Yep, borrowed it from the.
keep things safe.
Yep, so he
tucked in.
doesn't lick his wound. It's kind of gross, but hey,
Oh.
things we have to worry about, right?
All right, he's good. Why do they do that? Why do dogs? Because Lucy did that too on the wheel of your chair.
I don't know, probably because the plastic comes off and they can kind of get a little chewing action going on. I don't know. Ask me to explain dogs. Stephen Ing joining us late, of course, trying to catch up on early portion of YouTube while monitoring this live channel too. Wow, that is
Multitasking.
really double viewage. All right. The legs are messed up on this camera because my dog, watch your toes, because my dog is moving around. So I need to get this so I need to swing around here.
Oops.
Okay, that's my leg. If I could live without seeing. Okay, here we go. I'm drawing something. I want to say Nick Fury, but I got to check. I got to check my book. There's my pencil sharpener. There's my bald head. What happened to my bat book that has all the
Bat book?
it's underneath here.
Well, that'll do it.
My bat book. Okay, so
Husker, come on, Boo.
we are doing Dave Desmond's Nick Fury is what we're doing today to start off with. And then I've got Birdman and Heck Boy after that. So
Husker.
Stephen Ing has one. I don't know if I'm going to get that. I may have to save that
Husker.
for tomorrow. Do like a live
Oh,
feed.
he's chewing on your eraser, I think.
Oh, great.
Why don't they just leave stuff alone?
I'm telling you, man, I was just having this conversation. My mom lives with us. She's like 97. I'm sorry, she's 89. And I was saying, we're not going to be able to put up Christmas decorations because this dog will
Have to get a
tear them
baby
apart.
tree and hang it from the
You're
ceiling.
gonna- yeah, exactly. We're going to have to,
Husker, no.
it's going to be a challenge for sure with this dude.
You are a pill.
Okay, so Nick Fury, we're going classic Stranko Nick Fury.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Do the old classic egg shape for the head. Let's see. I am going to do your Heck Boy shortly. No, we're doing classic Nick Fury. You're an artist. You really need legs. I do have to use legs to move up and down the stairs. Happy to show the art I got from AaronCon 1997. That was actually a personal appearance. Now, actually, I would love to see what you got from Neil Adams. That's directed at Zane the Insane. Wow, you know what? I forgot which. Does anybody know off the top of their head which eye has the eye patch for Nick Fury? Is it his right or his left eye? You're gonna have him smoking a cigar because, you know, that's back in the day they were selling us kids candy cigarettes, so they didn't care if Nick Fury smoked a cigar or not. Now I think it's funny that they're worried about, you know, the Wolverine and Nick Fury smoking in comics. They don't want kids to see it. But you know, they have sex and gratuitous violence. They don't care about that. Just don't let the kids see anybody smoke. His left eye, Brian, are you sure? Okay, I'm going to take your word for it, dude. If it's wrong, it's on you. So it's his left. No, that's his right. Okay, his left would be, okay, oh, see, confusing myself. His left would be my right. So that's what we're going to do. Stranko's Nick Fury was fabulous, but I will say this: the best, in my opinion, the best Stranko work was in those 3 issues of Captain America: 110, 111, and 113. Brian Googled it, so it must be true. I got Dan Barry, Rudy Nebres, Neil Adams art, page 3. I never thought worked together. 3, I never thought worked together. Wait a minute, they didn't. You had what? Dan Barry, Rudy Nebres, and Neil Adams all on the same page? Or are you talking about the 3 separate things? Because I know Nebres at Continuity did some stuff for Adams and may have worked over him on some of that stuff, but Dan Barry, of course, those you don't know, is did Flash Gordon newspaper strip for years. So that's really would be an odd combination. Nick Fury never shaved either, you know, he always had that beard stubble. I like how Stranko really sort of played up that sort of spy angle with Nick Fury, you know, James Bondish kind of thing that he had going on. That was a really interesting take on that character. Really sort of defined him, I think, for decades. You know, because Kirby's guy was more just kind of a thuggish World War II, grizzled World War II veteran, but Stranko made him sort of stylized swinger, kind of secret agent guy. Nebres definitely worked with Neil on Krusty Bunker's pages as well, I think. Yeah, you're probably right. Yes, Dan and Rudy and Neil all worked together on one page. Barry's pencils, Rudy's inks, and Neil doing some touch-up work. What was it for, though? Yeah, Moog is right. Nebres did a lot, man. He was all over the place, but that's amazing. I had no idea. All right. I got to get this on my lap, which means I got to move this camera yet again. Sorry. Gosh darn it. Okay. Okay, that's more like it. Okay. Going in here with the number 8. Le Pen. I wonder if it's really French or if they just named it that to kind of make it sound, you know, like it was high quality. I mean, they are good. Mark Brooks turned me on to them, so clearly Mark is a guy of exceptional talent, so trust his judgment, and they've been actually pretty good. Now, I can't remember, does Nick Fury have a little gray on the sideburns, kind of like Reed Richards does, or not? I can't remember that either. Apparently, I need to break out my Stranko comics and take a closer look at some of this stuff. Okay. The car was not a high quality car. The page is from Omega Virus board game from 1991. It has a Flash Gordon looking guy in a spaceship. Yeah, send me a picture, Zane. I'd love to see that. So Brian Tidwell, are you saying yes? Yes, he has gray. I assume that's what you're saying. There's so many conversations going on at once. It's hard for me to know which ones anybody particularly is responding to. I actually have a nice Rudy Nubraze original I picked up from at a Dallas show. It's in my gallery at Comic Art Fans. If anybody's interested, it's he said he did it all in Sharpie, which was like I couldn't believe, but it does smell like a Sharpie. So yeah, Stranko had him with Reed Richards there. Okay. Yeah, they did. The Filipino guys, that kind of Filipino invasion in the 70s, they, Redondo was in that group. Alex Nino, holy crap. Some real talented guys in that group. I actually have a Plug page from Weird World. Actually, it was Marvel Premiere 38 that Plug inked and Plug drew and Alex Nino inked. It's just fabulous. So I think it was actually pretty cool that Nick Fury got this Fountain of Youth formula that he was allowed to take, and I think all of his gang did, like Dum Dum Dugan and all of his gang. His Howling Commandos took it too, right? So he could stay young and continue to fight crime. I love how they have, in comic books, they have all these incredible inventions that they just don't share with the rest of the world. Reed Richards can create all this stuff, but he can't cure cancer. It's kind of funny because getting back to the Filipino guys, Redondo took over for Wrightson on Swamp Thing, and it's really kind of unfortunate because he did a terrific job on that book, but of course he followed Wrightson, so it didn't get the notoriety that maybe it would have otherwise. Gary Martin, inker Gary Martin, used to have an oil painting, a Conan oil painting. I assume it was for a cover of Savage Sword or Savage Tales that Redondo did. Oh my gosh, it was so nice. but Nebrace was always my favorite. The thing about Rudy was, though, that I would have to, his anatomy was always so messed up that sometimes he would nail a piece, other times it would be kind of look wonky to me. So I would never commission him to do a piece because I never was really sure if I would get what I wanted or not. So I would go and look at his stuff that he already did, then find one that he did that I liked, which is what it ended up happening when I got it at this show. But I also did a piece for Valiant. I wanted to do a Turok piece and have Rudy ink it, but the guy I was connected with was doing that book called The Visitor. It was like an alien Batman kind of ripoff story. Anyway, so the only thing I could do was a Visitor piece, but I did it with gargoyles and then had Rudy ink it, and he just totally redid the whole thing, you know. So it was really, so I got this great original Rudy Nebrace over me that he inked, and so that's kind of a prized possession. I also got Alex Nino to ink a convention sketch I did of a zombie, and I had him ink it. So it's like the great way to get, because you know they're going to redraw it, right? Everything you do. So I was like, if I give him a piece, so I basically manipulated them into doing exactly what I wanted and getting a piece rather than saying, hey, can you do me a zombie piece? I did the zombie the way I wanted the zombie done and then let Nino go over the top of it and turn it into a Nino drawing. And so it was really cool because I ended up getting exactly what I wanted. And yeah, so I've got that. As Bill Murray would say, so I got that going for me, which is kind of nice. Yeah, you do need to see them, but you're not going to see it today because I have to go dig them out. I'm probably going to do a live feed early next week, like even maybe tomorrow, to finish up some stuff because I got Stephen Ing has actually a really cool request for the inside of the book, sketchbook. I'm not going to get it to it today, so I may just do that tomorrow, so you can see that, and I'll try and remember to show the artwork as well. Because they are really cool pieces. And ladies and gentlemen, there we have Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. All right. We're going to pass the 200 mark tonight. Aaron, how late are you going tonight? I'm out running errands, but want to be back. I am going till probably 6:30. So if you can make it back by 6:30, which would be 8:30 your time. Okay, so that's number 198. Again, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Coolio. All right, let's see what else we got here. Next on the old agenda, I think Birdman is next. Birdman. Frankenstein Jr. is like, I was going to say it was probably my favorite of that show, but I don't know if that's really true because I love the Herculoids, I love Space Ghost, I love Frankenstein Jr. Birdman was good enough. Let's see. I'm going on a separate screen here, and I'm going to excuse my typing. I'm going to go find Birdman. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Birdman. Oh, I loved Mytor too. I mean, Mytor was like the Thor, caveman Thor. You know, I mean, almost exactly the same thing. Um, so yeah, that's what I was so stoked when DC was doing those books, but they had apparently ticked off Warner Brothers on how they handled the Looney Tunes stuff. So they took their they took their entire package of characters back, because Looney Tunes and the Hanna-Barbera stuff are all part of the same licensing deal. And I guess Warner Brothers did not appreciate the updated version of the Warner Brothers characters, like those DC, those more, pardon me, the Looney Tunes DC mashups, you know, like Elmer Fudd Batman, which was terrific. And then I did the Martian Manhunter. They didn't really think they didn't like them not representing the characters the way they were in the cartoons. The problem is, you know, which Dan DiDio pointed out, was like, no one buys those Looney Tunes books anymore. So they had to do something to make them sellable in a comic market. And so that was what they came up with. And it was a great idea. But Dan really wanted the Hanna-Barbera characters, but he couldn't get them without getting the Looney Tunes stuff too. So he had to figure out a way to make the Looney Tunes make money as well. So, but then when Warner Brothers took their license back, both things went, so that we couldn't keep doing the Herculoids and other characters from the Hanna-Barbera line, which really sucked. But I was able to I got to do a couple issues of Herculoids and actually I worked on 3 separate issues of Herculoids, or 3 separate stories featuring the Herculoids. It's kind of what I was trying to say. He's got a little bird symbol on his forehead, but I can't really figure out what it. Oh, I see. It's the sun with wings. That's pretty weird. But I guess he got his power from the sun, right? And he's Birdman, so the sun would have wings. That still doesn't make any sense, but I think the sun would have just been fine. But who am I to criticize Alex Toth, right? So you have Birdman's ears hanging out. And this is kind of a helmet thing on there. Birdman. So anyway, those are my inside tales of DC. I can only tell those now because AT&T has like fired everybody, so I guess it doesn't really matter if I tell the tales or not. None of those people are still there. They were involved in any of that. So yeah, and technically I'm not there either right now. I have no DC gigs lined up, so who knows where I'll be next. Maybe a permanent addition to the internet. We'll see. All right. Now I have the difficult. I think they are still publishing the traditional Looney Tunes book. I wish they would add a traditional Johnny Quest, maybe with you and Steve Rude. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, Rude. My gosh, he really sort of nailed that old sort of Toth style, didn't he? But yeah, that would be awesome. Actually, Steve and I did sort of share one of those issues of Future Quest, where half the issue was Herculoids and the other half was a Birdman story. Steve did the Birdman stuff, and then I did the Herculoids story. And then later, when they did the Future Quest Presents, he had a 3-part, I think, Birdman story, and then I followed mine up with a, was it 2 or 3-part Herculoids? I think a 2-part Herculoids story. And there was also the last issue of that series was Frankenstein Jr. And I knew that, and I was going to talk to the editor, keep wanting to say Danny Fingeroth. Joey Cavalieri was the editor, and because I wanted to do the Frankenstein Jr. story, but I kept putting it off because I was working on the Herculoids. And I was like, I'll talk to him next week. I'll talk to him about it next week. Then I finally put it off, and I asked him about it. He goes, "Oh, I just assigned it to somebody else." I'm like, "No!" So I was kind of bummed about that because I would have loved to have done the Frankenstein Jr. as well with Buzz Conroy, boy scientist. That was the favorite year of my career in comics, which may sound kind of dumb, but now in 1 year I got to do Martian Manhunter, right? Then I got to do Wonder Woman Conan, followed up by the Herculoids. It was like, at that point, it just doesn't get any better than that. They're like three of my favorite things, all in the same year. So that was pretty darn cool. I won't tell you my worst year. Because then I'd be like calling out people, which wouldn't be cool. Actually, off the top of my head, I don't know what I would consider my worst year in comics. One of the years I was spent 3 months unemployed. That might be one. Hyper Potato says that's a pretty good year, and he got a pretty great year, and it was for me. It was because it was just getting an opportunity to write. I mean, to draw one thing after another that I really, really liked. The other interesting thing is that now Doc Shanner actually ended up doing the Future Quest series, which I really wanted to do because I had talked to Dan DiDio years before when I was working on Wonder Woman about doing the Herculoids. I said, man, if you ever get the rights to that stuff, I'm your guy. And well, I was writing and drawing the Metamorpho when they were getting ready to launch that book. I'm not saying they would have given it to me, and that that Doc Shannon was her second choice or something. I'm not going to insinuate that at all. But let's just say I wasn't available, so it kind of blew any opportunity I might have had of getting that series. But I was able to, like I said, able to do some stuff for it. So that was. But I did find out that I was second choice for Wonder Woman Conan, which kind of ticked me off. But they had offered it to Liam Sharp, and he turned it down. So then they contact you, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Aaron, when we had this project, we thought of you." And I'm like, "That's not really true." But at least they thought of me second. So. And I guess it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, they thought of Robert Redford and Paul Newman originally to be Superman, and they turned him down. So, it's a good thing it ended up being Christopher Reeve. So sometimes being second choice or third choice or whatever the case may be is not all bad. Of course, the next time I'm first choice on something, will be the first time. So. Okay. There's Birdman. Now the long-awaited Heck Boy. My goodness, I haven't drawn Heck Boy in forever. I rarely draw other people's creations. I don't really like doing that. And so, but, you know, when it gets requested, you've got to deliver. You always do a great Birdman. Paul, this may be the first Birdman I've ever done. Okay, this is lucky number 199. How about that? Now, 200 is already taken by somebody several months ago. Actually, I know I already signed this, but I gotta touch this up a bit. All right. It's signed, it's numbered in the books, folks. And now for our last sketchbook of the evening before we move on to I said I should switch my banner. Dave Desmond, very super cool, man. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Dave. You actually bought a couple things from me, and I really appreciate it. I should have my sketchbook banner up while I'm doing sketchbooks. Yes, Paul, you are thinking Space Ghost. I did a Space Ghost, one of the last earlier shows I did this year for John Smith that turned out really well. But yes, thank you. Oh, do you really? You have the original cover to the variant cover to Future Quest. Oh, really? So you have the Herculoids cover. You know who Joe Jusko saw that and he wanted it, and I was like, oh, it's already sold, man. He's a huge Herculoids fan. Unemployed, your folks weren't overjoyed. Van Halen. Van Halen. No, Eddie Van Halen passed away. That was kind of a bummer. I didn't even know he was dealing with throat cancer. That was that's pretty shocking. Anyway, not to be a downer. All right, so I got to do Heck Boy, and I know this is almost seems ridiculous to even say this, but I've got to sort of I got to dig up some Heck Boy reference. I can kind of see it in my mind, but I want to make sure that I'm seeing it right. Okay. Now I got it. I'm going to take a drink of water here. Please excuse my reach. Okay. Last sketchbook of the evening, although I will be doing one tomorrow for Stephen Ing. He wants kind of an old style. There was was it Chandler Christie? Who was the guy that did the did a painting? It was a poster. It was like, if I was a man, I'd join the Navy, and it's this girl, you know, with a Navy hat on and Navy suit on and all this kind of stuff. And it's like an old, like probably either early World War II or World War I piece. And he kind of wants that sailor girl in the inside front cover. So I'm thinking that's kind of cool. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Okay. So Heck Boy, here we go. I'm sorry. I always called him Heck Boy when my kids were little. So I thought it's kind of a running joke. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you did if you're a Hellboy fan. I'm sure you guys saw that Christmas thing that Adam Hughes did, that Hellboy thing. Oh my, that was really nice. Dude, oh, he's got like those kind of like Wolverine sideburn things, right? Does he have hair on his head? I don't remember. Not really seeing it here in Mignola's pieces. I can't really tell if he's got hair up there or not. No, I don't think he does he? It's kind of like bald on top, and this kind of goes back around like that, doesn't it? I think that's correct. Be careful with Heck Boy. Elliot Fernandez got a temporary suspension, and he thought it might be because he was drawing that. Of course, YouTube didn't tell him why. Well, they can't cancel me for drawing Heck Boy, and that's who I'm drawing. I don't know that I have enough viewers on YouTube that make any difference if they canceled me or not. So like and subscribe, you guys. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay, I won't whine anymore about that. I get tremendous viewership on Facebook, though. Well, you know what else gets you in trouble? And Rodney, if he's still here, Ulabari, he requested dare I even say the name? I don't even think I'm going to, of the character that was the Egyptian goddess from the 70s TV show that shares the same name as a terrorist organization. And he tried to pay me via PayPal, and it said in the request box for this character's commission of this character, and they put a hold on it while they investigated him, because he mentioned the name. So you can't even say that name anymore without getting in trouble. Oh, mighty. Mm-hmm. Hey, Rodney's still there. He's laughing about it because he knows. And then the other Rodney, Stockham, this is your Heck Boy, right? Yes. I don't think there's anybody that draws a bad Heck Boy. The way that Mignola designed him is actually kind of cool. But see, being a Christian, I always have to avoid. Even when I was a kid, I didn't buy Ghost Rider. Actually, I did buy Ghost Rider, but I kind of felt guilty about it. And like Son of Satan, I would never buy. So I think that I had characters from hell. Like, was it who is the Devil's daughter? What was her name? Satana or something like that. That was all during that Marvel supernatural phase they went through in the kind of early to mid 70s. My son got a Mignola sketch in his sketchbook when he was younger, and I told him, he didn't want to get a Heck Boy either, and I said, well, get Screw On Head. So we got a Screw On Head sketch, which I don't know. There was a HBO did a pilot animated episode of that. It never got picked up. I don't know if you haven't seen it. You go to YouTube and check that out, the Screw On Head animated thing. It is so good. It's really funny. I don't know if I've ever actually drawn this for anybody before. Like I said, because I try to steer clear of other people's characters for the most part. But this character has become so iconic and part of modern pop culture that it doesn't really feel like it's an independent, that you're kind of invading Mignola's space by doing his character. Like if I did Jeff Smith's Bone or something like that, I would feel really kind of like I shouldn't be doing it. But Heck Boy is it's become so well known that I don't quite feel, it almost feels corporate now, Like no one ever feels bad about, drawing a Marvel or DC character without permission, or Disney or something like that, although Disney will come and get you. But I've always felt like I didn't want to, intrude on people's creations. But like I said, I think Heck Boy has moved beyond just kind of a small indie character that Mignola's trying to scratch out a few dollars by drawing. Anyway, there we go. Not too shabby. Yeah, Satana, Hyper Potato, that's right. Okay. This is actually, I'm skipping 200 because 200's already been done, as I mentioned earlier. So this is like 201. Yep. Boom. 201. Heck Boy. Rodney says, thanks. Rodney, you are welcome. Thank you, actually. All you guys that have ordered sketchbooks from me. I really appreciate it, because I kind of stuck my neck out and paid for it all out of pocket up front. And they, 64-page hardcover, full color, they ain't cheap. And so here I'm adding some more line work after I already signed it. So I was, carrying a pretty hefty debt there. So you guys helped me get those paid off and come out a little bit ahead on the project so far. So I really appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to stop. There it is. Cool. All right. So what do we do now? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to kind of jump in, and I just want to update everybody's. Jude says, so good. Hey, thanks, Jude. I appreciate that. Let's take a look at this stuff really quickly again, just to remind everybody. This is, here we go. In case you're just joining me and you didn't catch all the spiel at the beginning, this is a Supergirl 11 by 14 piece that's up for auction. The auction, as of right now, is at, here it comes scrolling, $287.79 is the high bid right now. And it'll go through the end of the show today, which is probably going to be about 6:30-ish. So you can bid by going to the comments section and just saying I bid, whatever on Supergirl. Obviously, it has to be more than $287.79 if you want to get it. Angelo says he's thinking of getting a second book just for the sketch. You wouldn't be the only one, guys. People are collecting my head sketches inside the books. So, because I don't do those head sketches outside the books. If I did like an 8.5 by 11 head sketch like that, I'd probably charge, 40 or 50 bucks for it, probably 50. And so you're actually getting a book with the sketch in it for 45. So it's actually a tremendous deal. I know someone that's got like 3 or 4 of them right now, different head sketches inside them, which I think is kind of funny, but hey, whatever sells the product, right? Okay, so that Supergirl auction is going on right now. It's going on throughout the entire show tonight. And then there's also this, if you haven't seen these. Now, this is actually going for more than the Supergirl sketch, which I'm very surprised, but both by the same high bidder who's got deep pockets, apparently. These are 11 by 17 roughs or pages or abandoned splash pages that I got halfway through and changed my mind about something or felt like I needed to redraw. So some of them are under drawings, like the blue Wonder Woman page there on the bottom right, or the Eradicator Wonder Woman splash just above it. Those were basically underdrawings, intentional underdrawings for the actual pages that appeared in the book. Some of these were just same with the damage piece on the top left. Sometime, and on the Dead Man page with Superman and Batman, I just decided I didn't like the Dead Man pose, so I redrew that page. It's not a very efficient way to work, but that's what I did. And then the Superman Wonder Woman there in the top middle is part of a double page spread that appeared in Justice League Annual 2. And I had just was working on this Wonder Woman pose and kept changing my mind to a point where I felt like I had roughed the paper up too much. So I ended up light tabling that half of the double page spread onto a new board for the finished art. And the Aquaman thing, and I just, for some reason, didn't think the pose was dynamic enough. And now that I'm looking at it, I think it actually is dynamic enough, but I redrew it anyway. And that was the original one. To get that far along, to be almost done with the splash page and go, you know what, I'm going to start over. Again, not the most efficient way at making money, but that's what those are. So if you were to bid on those, bid more than $360 on those, which seems unlikely, but if you're going to do it, it would be, you'd get all 6 of those, and they're all signed, and they're all 11 by 17, and they're all on heavy paper. So anyway, I wanted to take a brief respite and kind of revisit that stuff. And now back to the regular programming for our show. Okay, so what I've done, or what I have to do, is I've already laid it out, because it's this guy requested his own character, but he requested kind of the full figure along with a headshot of the character behind him. So it's actually more elaborate than what I would do in a regular sketch. So it's, of course I charged him more because that's just how I am. But so I kind of wanted to get it laid out before I just jumped in and tried to do it live. And so I've got kind of it roughed out. And so we're going to go in and put the pencil details in, then I'll link it. And then if we have time, I'll marker it up. If I don't, maybe I'll marker it up tomorrow as part of the live feed that I'm doing for the one sketchbook I have to do. I mean, who knows, if I get more sketchbooks, then I'll have more sketchbooks, and I'll do those tomorrow as well. And that's my big hand gesticulating in camera or on camera. Okay, so I have to go look at my reference for this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish the girl's face up here. We'll do that first. I was interested if when I do people's original characters, a lot of time they end up being video game avatars. But this may be because this guy's an artist too that's having me do this, and it may be a comic book character. I don't know. He may have told me and I may have forgotten. So Caleb, if you're watching and you're going, I already told you what it was, I ask forgiveness for not remembering. That's fairly typical of me. My wife would verify it if she was here, but she's flown the coop for this show. What was that? Somebody just dinged me. Oh, somebody subscribed to my channel. Somebody listened and subscribed. Thank you. It's kind of like what was the It's a Wonderful Life. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings or whatever. So every time the bell rings on my computer, someone subscribed to my channel. I want to make sure these lips are right. This is the worst kind of sketch for me. This two parts to the design, and then the character has a gun, and I hate guns. I hate drawing guns. I hate drawing anything mechanical or structured. You know, like cars, buildings. I'm a jungle guy, man. Swords, knives, clubs. Although the gun I'm going to make up. I'm not going to do a real gun. Because I figure anybody that's a high-tech assassin probably has their own gun. Okay, so there's kind of the headshot of the main character in her secret identity, as whatever her name is, as her secret identity. And then we're going to go, chin's a little too prominent, I think. Soften that up a bit. All righty. Okay, now she's wearing a mask. I don't know if that's I'm going to assume that's probably not because of the COVID-19. I'm guessing that's part of her regular outfit. But in this day and age, who can tell? Who can tell? Somebody just sent me money. That was the other bell. So somebody wants a sketchbook. Angelo probably cracked under the pressure and ordered another sketchbook. Well, if you did, Angelo, I'm going to draw it tomorrow night. And if it wasn't you and it was someone else, I'm going to draw it tomorrow night. So, yeah, I'm going to draw it tomorrow night either way. I have a color commission for Psylocke that I'm starting tomorrow as well. 11 by 17 full color. I haven't really, I'm still thinking about what I want to do pose-wise. because she doesn't have a weapon. She just has those kind of, what are they, psi blades that came out of her fist that were sort of like mental swords. I never really, again, I didn't read X-Men because I'm such a contrarian that whatever, is the hot thing and everybody else is involved in, I go the other direction. So I'm not really all that familiar with the Jim Lee era of X-Men, other than occasional issues I picked up here and there and what I gleaned through other sources, but I don't really understand what her powers are. I know she's Captain Britain's sister, right? Okay, so we have this assassin. You know what? I think her hairline's a little too high. I'm going to bring it down just a bit. Ugh, that eyeballs off. All right. So I've got her reference up over on she's got something draped over her shoulder. I think it's a gun. This guy actually had Alan Davis do this character for him. It was kind of cool. So I'm kind of using his reference that he drew her, because I figured, well, it's his character, he should know. Joe you ordered on Friday. What did you order, Joe? Are you sure I didn't already do it and you missed it? Joe the Shark, what character did you order in the book, the sketchbook? No, Steve Branson did Cap and Visions when I started. James had the Green Captain Marvel. And then Joseph Natali just had a signed edition. Brian Tidwell had Poison Ivy, which we did. Randy Funk had Black Canary. And then I had one from Mike Pascal, who just wanted the regular edition. So Joe, I don't have you in here. So you ordered one on Friday night? You sent it to me on PayPal? I'll have to go back and double check then. Because Joe the Shark, you're not Joe Naftali, right? You're just not, because Joseph always has his name on his thing, so I don't know. Who is Joe the Shark? Lord Pumpkin? Oh, it's okay. It is you. All right. You didn't put on there what you wanted though. I thought you just wanted a signed one. Okay. I'm going to do Lord Pumpkin. That's awesome. Okay. I'll do that tomorrow night. Cause I have your book set aside. I'm glad you messaged me, because I would have sent you one without a drawing on it. Okay. Well, I figured the shark reference, I figured it was you, but I wasn't sure. Okay. So you want a Lord Pumpkin. All right. Let me write that on here, because I just had you down for a regular edition. So you want Lord Pumpkin, which is a grand choice, especially being October and all. All right. So Lord Pumpkin, we'll do that tomorrow night, along with the other one. Oh, the other two. Okay. This chick's got to be an assassin, because she's got weapons hanging all over. So we'll do a gun coming out of here. Oops, I should put that at an angle like that. Okay. So we got a gun coming there. Now I like this, because usually these female characters, especially the assassin ones, they'll put a belt across their waist, and I always hate that because it kind of ruins the flow from their midsection into their hips. That's why a lot of times I'll put a gun belt below the hip so it doesn't obscure that curved line right there, which to me sort of makes the figure. And that's just me, though. The heck do I know? I'm unemployed. I'm an unemployed artist. What the heck do I know? All right, what has she got for gloves? I can't tell. Let's see. What did Alan Davis do? Well, I guess there's a certain amount of artist interpretation, right? Do something like that, I think. Okay. It's got a samurai sword. Okie dokie. Okay, so we got a double sort of belt thing going on here on her thigh. So it's like ammo belt, and then it's like ammo cartridges below it, I think. One of the reasons I usually balk at doing people's own characters is because they're usually very intricate, like this, and you're sitting there half the drawing trying to figure out the costume and doing it right, and then you don't want the people to be ticked off because you don't do their costume right. You know, so. And I always have guys that do their own characters always have wings for some reason. And so when this gentleman, Caleb, contacted me, I said no wings, and I was quite grateful to see that there was actually no wings on this character. Anytime you do a winged character on one of these 11 by 14 pieces of paper, in order for a human being to have wings big enough to actually that they could make them fly, the wings take up like the entire board. So you have to draw the character really small or not draw all the wings, and it just becomes madness. So I wrote off that and said I'm never doing wings again. I had a couple of guys at San Diego that always hit me up that were gamers, and they always wanted drawings of their their winged characters. And I was like, nope, no more. No more. And so it ended. And again, there's always a certain amount of interpretation, you know, unless you have an exact turnaround. And by that, I mean like a Marvel or DC, you know, they would always have their style guides, right? And that's basically would have a front shot, side shot, and a back shot of every character. So you could clearly see, you know, and the idea was that every bit of the costume was clearly articulated, so there was no confusion about, you know, what the character looked like. So I don't know, doesn't look, oh, I see what's going on there. All right. See, Alan Davis did it wrong, or at least I'm not reading what he did correctly. So this goes like that. Yeah, baby. Okay, I got it. All right. So then over here, she has another belt full of gadgets and whatnots. Was Rob Liefeld the guy that first developed the pouches, the multiple pouches to put stuff in, which in a lot of ways makes sense. Everybody, kind of, Rob's very polarizing. Obviously, people love him or hate him, but um, it does make sense to, these characters. Batman always had his utility belt, right? And if you're, a character with a gun or whatever, where the heck are you keeping your ammo or your other stuff? So, although I'm not a big, like I said, I would rather just draw the figure and have a skin tight outfit kind of painted on the figure. But if you're gonna, if you're gonna do these characters with ammo and all this kind of stuff, they probably should have belts and packs and things like that hanging off their costume everywhere, so they can kill people appropriately. What do I think about the Wonder Woman 1984 movie? Well, obviously, all I've seen is what you guys have seen, is the trailers and stuff. And I mean, let's face it, Gal Gadot is just absolutely beautiful. So there's no reason why you wouldn't go see a movie that she's in. I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly. I think, when you got to take your ideas about comics and just kind of throw them out the window when you go see a comic movie, because they're going to do what they want to do, and it's rarely, fits in with what the character actually did or does in the comics. So, like her swinging on lightning or whatever, it's a cool visual, so I understand why they did it. Does it offend me that she doesn't do that in the comics? No, I don't care. It's like Superman 2 when he kisses Lois and makes her, in the movie I'm talking about, with Christopher Reeve, and he makes her forget, right, his secret identity or whatever. And people were just outraged because, well, Superman can't do that. And I'm like, who cares? It was fun in the movie, so I give him the latitude to do that in the movie. In fact, in Superman 2, he did a lot of stuff in there that he couldn't do in the comics or had never done in the comics. So, oh, wait a minute, there's a gun hanging off here. I got to get that. So I'm not real stickler on that, because I kind of look at the movie as its own thing. And if what they do works within the context of the movie, then I accept it. It's when they do stuff that does not fit within the context of the film that I have issues. So I sort of judge a film as its own sort of entity, regardless if they're using, stuff from another medium or not. It's kind of like, is the novel better than the movie? Well, it depends. They're usually different depending on what we're talking about. But it looks like she has another holster over here too. So I'm going to make this one a little bit lower. But you can see the complexities of, trying to figure out someone's design on the fly here, which I'm basically doing. Because again, I want to make sure that he's happy with it. And so I don't want to misrepresent his character. But then again, if you're hiring someone to do a piece, you have to assume there's going to be some variation in artist interpretation. So you sort of have to be flexible enough to go with that. I got into it one time with a guy that had a show that was nitpicked the crap out of the finished piece. And it was a really nice piece, but there was some detail that he was not happy about that was completely inconsequential. And so I lit him up, man. I said, fine, don't take it. I'll sell this on eBay for more than what I'm charging you for it. Because it was an existing character, but it was, it's just kind of a stylistic interpretation on my part of one of the costume elements, and he was not pleased with that. And you gotta have enough flexibility when you get someone to, I mean, if you ask for a certain character and they don't draw what the character, you should, that's part of the deal, obviously. But for me, generally speaking, I tend to be more concerned with the artist than I am with the character. And let's be honest, guys. Most people that commission stuff are more concerned about the character. They'll get any artist that'll draw the character they want to get. And I'm just sort of the opposite. I mean, if I got Barry Smith right, and I said, "Hey, man, do me a Conan," and he did Archer and Armstrong, I would probably be not as thrilled as if he had done Conan. But I don't know that I would necessarily. Well, actually, Archer and Armstrong is kind of boring, so I would be kind of ticked. I'd still take it because it's still, Barry Smith original. But now, if he did Wolverine instead of, that has a bit of higher cool factor than Archer and Armstrong does, so I would probably be okay with that. You ask Wrightson for Swamp Thing, and he does Frankenstein instead. You're not going to go, "Can you redo it? I really wanted Swamp Thing," because I really wanted was a Wrightson original. But anyway, that's me. I mean, you guys may have a different viewpoint. I mean, you do have a right, if you're getting a commission, you have a right to get what you ask for. I mean, that's part of the deal, right? So I respect that. I'm terrible at guns. I'm going to dress this up enough, though, so you won't even notice. Or put enough blacks on it, you won't even notice. We had an old saying, there's an old, in film school, it's kind of a joke. It was like, if you can't solve it, dissolve it. In other words, if you can't solve the problem in editing, because you don't have the right footage to solve a visual problem in editing, you just dissolve it into the next scene. And that kind of takes care of that issue. And so in comics, it's like, if I can't solve it, just add black. Like I said, I don't know anything about this character, but she's obviously got to be an assassin, right? Anybody who's loaded like this to bear with this kind of stuff must be looking to kill somebody. For the right price, of course. So actually, that wasn't actually that hard. Once I got figured out the buckles and everything, I think I'm not missing anything here. I guess he'll let me know, and then it'll be too late. I told him I was drawing it live tonight, but he may not have been able to make it, so he can't say, "No, Aaron, don't do that. It's wrong." It's too late. But again, like I said, you got to have a certain amount of leeway in artistic interpretation, right? Oh, what we got here? There you go. Expect deviations. If I buy a page of published art, I am usually buying because I want something, anything from that artist. If I get a commission, I want the character. Slight difference for me. No, I can see that. I mean, because some people do, like, you've got like themes, right? So you've got this is my Wonder Woman book, or this is whatever, I don't really have a favorite character that I would like to get different people's takes on. I always want an artist when I get, like one of my friends or whatever to do something in my book to kind of do their strength, so I get the best possible piece. I had Michael Golden do a piece in my book, but I didn't have him do Batman, which is what everybody usually requests, right? Actually, I should have had him do Man Bat. Oh, ticked off myself now for not thinking of that. But I had him do Doctor Strange because I figured he probably had less requests for that. And Doctor Strange is, I think for Golden, my favorite single issue of anything he's ever done was Doctor Strange issue, I want to say it was 55. Great comic. But most of the people, like I had Travis Charest do Conan for me. I had Adam Hughes to actually do Supergirl, but Supergirl with Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick, because I love Adam's humor stuff, but I couldn't do a piece that didn't have a girl on it, right? Even though I was more interested in the Mr. Mitchell-Pitlick. So I actually created a scene for him to draw for me, and he did a wonderful job. I had Kevin Nolan do Merv Pumpkinhead, or whatever the dude's name is from Sandman. And everybody asked him to do Batman, right? So, I don't know. I didn't really want, like I said, I love superheroes just like everybody else does, but I kind of dig, fantasy stuff, and it just lends itself to me better to interesting art or illustration. Because you ask somebody to do a superhero, they go into superhero mode, and well, there you go, right? So, but you ask them to draw a monster, or you ask them to draw, Gandalf or something from Lord of the Rings, and they're usually a little bit more inspired, and you get something better or more interesting than just a typical superhero drawing. So that's kind of what I went for in my book. It's a girl with some stylized hair.
How's it going?
We're just moving right along. Although I
can't read this. My eyes are thrashed.
I'm not as Josh Olive shows up. Hey, Josh, thanks for joining us.
Lord Pumpkin.
See,
holy cow!
He knows. Buzz raves about Doctor Strange number 55 all the time. He said he has over like 2,000 copies.
Wow.
It's a tremendous. It's seriously Golden's, in my opinion, his best single issue. So. Okay, I'm going to do something totally unorthodox because my wife is here.
What?
I'm going to go to the bathroom, and she's going to entertain you for a few minutes.
Oh, good Lord. No pressure.
With
I don't draw, so.
She's just going to tell stories of
oh, gosh. Okay, which one?
Going to San Diego and getting food poisoning.
No.
Okay, I don't know. I'll be right back.
How about
take over?
The Germany story when you got so mad at me?
Okay, that's a good one. It's a drinking story.
It's a drinking story. All right. Oh, my gosh. The pressure. Okay. First time we went to Germany for the Comic-Con, it was amazing. Anyway, so when we got to Essen for the Comic-Con, it was more like a gaming, even like board games. Anyway, so that night he said, oh, yeah, I've got, commissions to do. So me being me, I'm like, all right, I'm not staying. So I was told, hey, there's some of the people downstairs, the bar. So I'll go hang out with the nice German people. And so we ended up, it was like 10 o'clock maybe, and they're like, oh, we're going to go to this other place. You want to go? And I'm like, sure. So I text Aaron, of course. But Aaron being Aaron, if you know Aaron, this won't surprise you, did not hook up to the Wi-Fi in the hotel. So when I sent him the text through the Wi-Fi as well, he never got it. All right. So we proceed to go to this bar. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And it was like an 80s theme, which of course is our generation. So I remember having to explain to them that the song was Living on a Prayer, not what they were saying, which I can't even remember now. And we're still friends with some of them. It's been really fun. Anyway, so fast forward a few beers, a few more beers, laughing our butts off. I'm thinking I'm getting tired, but I'm not walking back. I couldn't even find my way back to the hotel. So I wait, and I came strolling in about somewhere between 3 and 4 in the morning. And of course, he hadn't gotten any of these several texts I sent, updating him to where I was, what was going on.
That's not true.
Oh, come back just to say I'm a liar?
Well, okay, you sent me texts, but I didn't get them.
I told them that you had not. See what I'm dealing with here, people. Yeah, that you hadn't hooked up to the Wi-Fi, so I came strolling in, a little bit drunk.
At about 3?
I think I said between 3 and 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Woo! He was mad. But what's the lesson learned, Aaron?
Your wife should come and tell you before she goes to a bar with a bunch of guys in Germany.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun though.
That's what I learned.
No.
Well, use your Wi-Fi, I guess.
Thank you.
But anyway.
But don't butt me.
Okay, but a better story is when we were engaged, we went to New York, and I was like looking for work.
Not.
And we went and had this at the World Trade Center. We had.
He's a big liar. Don't.
We went to this hamburger stand, and they ate these big greasy hamburgers. They were awesome. In the shadow of the World Trade Center.
That's true.
And so we get on the subway. By the time we got to the subway, she wasn't feeling too good. So
I have a very sensitive stomach.
She's ralphing up in the garbage can in the subway, and I'm just thinking, okay, homeless woman. And
I had a can out there collecting coins.
Oh, it was terrible.
I was pitiful.
And so then, she's like, you got the, she's pale, we got the cold sweats. We get up to the Marvel offices, right? Because I have an appointment up there or whatever.
Shelly God.
And we get up there, and thankfully I knew the receptionist pretty well because of previous trips.
Oh, she was awesome.
Yeah, she was super nice. So Shelly's getting sick in the lobby, and the lobby's packed full of people, probably waiting to show their portfolio. I don't know. And so she's like, oh, I'll just buzz you in. So she just buzzes in, let us in. She goes running to the bathroom to
I think they know what's happening.
And then I went and started working my way through editors who weren't expecting to see me.
That's the way to get in.
It was.
Oh, I don't feel good.
It was good times.
Yeah. Right. So Aaron, you're a smart man. Listen to your wife.
I always listen to you.
Always is a big word.
I don't always do what you say, but I listen to your opinion.
That's true.
So and
you
okay.
Pretend to.
So no, I always listen. That's one thing I've learned about being married is
I'm always right.
Pretending to listen doesn't go very far. So I got over that pretty quickly, and then actually, when she walks in the studio, I put my pencil down, I turn the radio down, I turn and look at her and listen to what she has to say.
Okay, I do too. That. Unless it's college football.
No.
And then he's like,
then I'm like, why are you bugging me right now? I always do that when you come in the studio. You just don't even pay attention to me, but I always do that.
Did I pull anything like that on the second Germany trip?
That was the second Germany trip.
That was the first one.
Okay.
Because it was the first time.
No, because I think we reached an accord on that sort of thing.
That's the one where you left the video camera on the plane that we bought the night before. And then you went back.
Well, I don't think it's really entirely to say that it's my fault because both of us forgot it.
It's his fault.
I did put it in the overhead or wherever I put it, and I did forget to get it. But she didn't go, hey, did you get the camera? But we did get it back.
We're going to throw hands in a minute.
All right, let me in there so I can finish that drawing.
No.
Shelley's taking over the show.
Like, Aaron, when did you paint your nails? Yeah, no. When I taught geometry, I can't even draw a cube very well, or even a triangle. So there'll be no
Matthew
drawing.
James is coming in at $300 on Supergirl.
Ooh,
Mark it down.
Mark it. I don't know where to mark it. I'll let you mark it. Oh, right here. All right. Zane's going. Damn it.
Well, that was a second appearance by Shelley. Thank you very much for
Anytime.
sitting in for me.
Oh, nap number 3 coming up.
She was like Joan Rivers to my Johnny Carson. I was had to step out, and she guest hosted.
Do anything.
All right, Matthew James is our new.
What are you doing for dinner?
I don't know. I'm going to be done here at 6:30, so then we'll figure it out. Why do you want me to get pizza?
No.
Okay, that's a big no. I do all the cooking, so I'm kind of responsible for dinner. But I've been planning these shows like right in the middle of dinner time, so it's been kind of.
It's still raining.
It's Oregon. Okay, I have to change my banner now, so you guys have to bear with me for a second.
That's good.
That is an excellent question. The dog, I'm sure he's in your room into something he shouldn't be. Okay, I'll leave that up there right now. So Supergirl is at 300. If you're saying what Supergirl, that Supergirl. 11 by 14. Got quite a bit of color in there, actually. You could actually say full color, but the flesh tones are warm gray markers. I did put a little red in her cheeks and nose there, and a little bit of violet over an eyeshadow there. So there is some color on there. There is some white out right there on the knee, so you know, but I did a very professional job of making it almost completely unnoticeable. But I do have to point it out because I'm in, no, he's probably under the bed. Okay, so that's right now at 300. This is also up for auction, which is at a remarkable 360, which I was stunned to see, but well worth it. There's some good stuff in there. So those are the two bidding things I've got. Yeah, I don't make super greasy burgers. I make quality burgers. Overstreet. That's on my bucket list, man. I have got to get to do the cover to the price guide, because those who know me know I am a pretty. Is he not under the bed?
No, he's totally under the bed, just laying there. He barely fits.
I don't know
What's the deal?
It's like his safety zone, I guess. All right, so back to this.
You're having super greasy burgers for dinner. Yeah.
Well, there's lettuce in there. I can make salad.
Oh wait, Overstreet will note that. Oh man.
That's right.
I should be in there, right? If you reference one of the sludge characters.
Where the heck is my .80? Well, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, that's right. She actually appeared in Sludge. She was ace reporter Shelley Rogers.
Which was my maiden name. So, yep.
And
I'm kind of a big deal. Oh, bigger than I used to be, unfortunately. So why do dogs hide under the bed? He can barely fit.
I don't know.
And then I did the light under there, and he was looking at me like, I'm sad.
I know, he looks so sad when he's under there.
With his little onesie on.
He chose to be under there, so I don't know what his deal is.
And I was calling him and whistling everything. Normally that's if I whistle, he'll at least make a noise. I can tell he's under there.
You have to promise him treats, and then he'll come out. Then he'll take the treats and go back in.
Yep. Okay. Well, if he's going to stay under bed, I'll just stay on the bed.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Shelley Lopresti, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good night.
This is turned out pretty well, actually. I'm always nervous. You know, like I said, you do somebody else's character, and then it's kind of like, if I screw it up, they're going to be mad. But I like how this turned out. Let me zoom in here so I can really put the pressure on myself not to screw up. Is that as close as it'll get? That's as close as it'll get. It's always hard to get the eyes lined up. And you know, the funny thing is, every human being, their eyes are crooked. And yet when I'm drawing these, I always try to get their eyes lined up, and then it really bugs me if they're not lined up. So I don't know what the moral of that story is, but I mean, if you really look at your friend's eyes or look at your own eyes in the mirror, I shouldn't do this because now you guys will be like freaking yourselves out, but everybody's eyes are pretty crooked. Some are just remarkably crooked. And you don't even really notice it because people are constantly in motion, you know, and so you're not focusing on just looking at their eyes to see if they're lined up or whatever. But when you're doing a drawing on a two-dimensional surface and it's static, you know, the person's never moving, well, you can sit there and kind of look and say, wow, those eyes are crooked. And it becomes pretty obvious. Whereas it's crooked on a real human in real life, you don't really notice unless you look, which you probably now are all going to start doing. Let's see. What did Steven say? Okay, Caleb's loving it. Okay, good. Thank you. Whew. Let's see, Stephen A. I'll take the $40 Superman if it's still available. I'm off to get dinner for my mother. You know, my mother lives with me, so she gets it when I make it. The $40 one was, I got to look, Stephen, really quick. I'm sure it's still there. You're talking about the two I opened the show with, right? Because the Brainiac one is gone. The Guardian one is gone. The one where he's ripping the robots apart, that's the $40 one. That's yours if you want it. So I'm going to assume that's the one you're talking about. So I'm going to put, Stephen, I'm going to put your name on here. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody seems to be liking it, so good. Thank you. Appreciate it. You never know, man. You just never know. All right. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'll fix that later. All right, so it looks like this area, the bustier area is a lighter gray, and then the rest of it is darker gray, although some of these boots are lighter gray, is what I'm seeing. And I guess her gloves would be lighter gray. That's how I'm doing it anyway, so. I'm really getting that kind of desire to buy an old comic book again. I really shouldn't, since I'm technically unemployed right now. Probably shouldn't be spending my money on comics, but the allure may prove to be too great. Now, I'm going to use this piece of paper because I don't have a ruler handy to draw a straight edge. You got to press really lightly or you'll bend the paper up and ruin the line, which I pretty much did anyway, so I'm going to have to go over it, but at least I have sort of a basis for I'll punch that line up later, meaning I'll make it thicker and darker and probably straighter. What time are we at? 6:06. Okay, we got plenty of time. We'll revisit the bidding stuff with about 5 minutes to go in the show. So if anybody wants to come in last minute, they can do that. But I want to get this baby inked first. One of the reasons no one would ever hire me to design a character these days is because I would it would look like it was designed in the 60s. I just do skin tight outfit and, put a few lines on it and call it good. Heritage had some with what looked like Matt Baker art. I would love some of those. When you buy comics, you say Guy Comics, but I know you buy comics. It's a business expense, right? Artistic research and all that. Yes and no. If I buy new comics, I consider it a business expense. If I buy collectible comics, then no, I do not attempt to write those off because that would be dishonest. And not that ripping off Uncle Sam is, a bad thing, but that'd be my luck to get caught. So I'm pretty much, I declare all my income and, like sales off this show this weekend. It all goes down in the book. I do get to write off the shipping costs, though. If I go see a movie that's, fantasy related or whatever, I will write those off too. DVDs, things like that. Because I do. The amazing thing is, even if you buy something without the intent of using it as reference, a lot of times you end up using it as reference. I mean, for example, I don't know how many of you remember Claw the Unconquered, the DC barbarian book from the 70s when DC was, had that short run of fantasy lines that included the Stalker and Beowulf and Richard Dragon, Kung Fu Fighter, or whatever that was called. Well, I bought those first issues. And the first issue that I have of it was not in great condition. And I'm a condition hound, especially as a collector. I want everything to be in mint condition if I can get it in mint or near mint. And so I rebought those Claw issues, right? Well, not a couple months later, Claw ends up appearing in my Wonder Woman run with Gail Simone, and I actually had to use those comic books as reference. So, I mean, and I've actually used some of my Golden Age Uncle Sam comics as reference before, which I never bought them for that purpose, but they ended up getting used for that. So, there's always an argument to be made, I suppose, that, even though you didn't buy it with the intent of it being reference, there's a good chance it could end up getting used as reference at some point. So, Heritage has some, Heritage Auctions has some Gil Elvgren pencils on there. And if I had some free cash right now, I would be on one of those like crazy. So obviously you can't afford his paintings, but his pencil drawings are really cool too. Actually, I just realized from that angle you wouldn't see the gun, the butt of the gun, so I'm not going to draw it. I'm just going to draw the holster with the, because it goes out the other way. All right. All right, we're going full gun, man. See what I can make this look like. Oh, yeah. My guess is, Brian, they are not going to fly under the radar. But keep hoping. Every once in a while, when I go onto Comic Link, I don't know if you guys use that at all to buy old comics, but I go there quite frequently. And every once in a while, if it's, a good book will kind of go under the radar a little bit. I got a Hulk #6. That's the Ditko issue. The original Hulk series. That was only 6 issues long. But I wanted that Ditko issue forever. And I got a really good deal, like a couple $100 under value for it. And it just, and it's a popular book for collectors. So I was really shocked that I got it at such a good price. But every once in a while, I think if you buy it the right time of year too, and that maybe, I think the fall and winter is the worst time for that stuff because people are generally saving money for Christmas and things like that. And so they don't usually buy that stuff that they would normally buy for themselves. And so you get better deals on things, I think, because they just don't tend to get bid up as much. At least I found that to be the case with comics. I always tend to get better deals on comic books in the fall and winter than I do in the spring and summer when people, have been saving their money for convention season or whatever, and they're loaded. And you often see higher prices paid for stuff in the spring, and then those prices drop back down in the fall and winter. And I'm a firm believer, if you're patient, eventually you will find what you're looking for at the price that you're willing to pay for it. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, you're right. That's true. May and June, everybody gets their tax returns back. It's a good time to sell. I love McGinnis. I don't like his women though. They tend to be sort of elongated and sort of exaggerated, and I don't really find it all that attractive. So Elvgren is like for a pinup artist, I don't think anybody can touch him. But McGinnis's man, especially his Western work that he's been doing since he retired from commercial work, some of that stuff is just brilliant. Some of his the design and execution just fantastic. So I guess to me it would depend on exactly what I was getting. McGinnis has some of the most interesting Western artwork I think I've ever seen. I'm not a big fan of Western artwork, but there's pieces of his that I would buy. But in terms of pinup art or something like that, I would go with Elvgren all day long. Oh, you do? You love the McGinnis women? I don't know. I don't know. They're very stylized and they're interesting looking, but I don't know that I would buy a piece. Well, if I could get a piece of McGinnis's stuff at a good price, I don't care what the subject matter would be, I'd get it. But if you're comparing Elvgren to, I'll tell you who I really like is Hayden Sundblom. Not just his Santa Claus stuff, which I love, but there's a piece on there right now, a Sundblom piece on Heritage right now that it's kind of a pinup piece of a girl sitting on a hill, grassy hill with a dog behind her. It's on the cover of there's a Sundblom book that just came out not too long ago, and that's on the cover of the book, and it is a great piece. There's also a Sundblom piece of like an actress, stage actress from like I would guess the late 1800s, early 1900s, where she's on stage and she's kind of taking a bow, and she's got some flowers, and the people in the audience is indicated there. It's a brilliant piece, and so I'm a big Sundblom fan too. And I think Elvgren, I could be mistaken because I have to go back and check, but I think Elvgren actually worked in Sundblom's studio for a while before he went off on his own. A lot of really prominent illustrators did. That's all I got to say about that. What are we doing here? 619, okay. Okay, so this stuff, this is going to be interesting because this is all darker. I'm going to go black, and then I'm going to put some grays in it later. Now, I'm not going to do the marker on this tonight, but I will be back tomorrow, provided some unforeseen thing happens and keeps me from doing it, but I'll let you know if that happens. But I will be back doing an Aaron Live tomorrow night where I will do the markers on this and also the remaining sketchbooks that I have to do. So that'll be after dinner tomorrow. So you on the East Coast, it's going to be late probably, but probably start at like 6:30 Pacific time, so I can get dinner made and consumed before I jump in and attack this stuff. And I'm going to try and do some more videos that aren't just live feeds, but are actually produced videos. I've really got to do one on perspective. I know people have been bugging me about doing something on perspective, and so I really should do that. But again, it's going to depend on how much free time I have, how long it goes before I get, something from Marvel or DC. If it goes a long time, then I'll have time to do it. If not, maybe longer. I mean, it's much easier to do these live feeds because obviously I can just come on here and wing it, and I don't have to do any editing or and honestly, more people watch these live feeds than go back and watch my actual produced videos that are on YouTube. So I think probably because these are coming on live on Facebook, and so of course anybody that's on Facebook sees this, oh hey, what's this? And they'll check it out, at least for a few minutes. Whereas the other ones you actually have to go to I'm trying to figure out what he's doing here. Oh, okay. We actually have to go to YouTube and seek me out to see a video, which I think, only hardcore, art fans or artists that want to, see what I'm doing are the ones that are going to go watch that stuff. You got an original. Oh, Zane, you have a. When Brian Tittle finally got McGinnis for my wall. Oh, you finally got a McGinnis? Did you show me this? The countdown's starting in like 2 minutes.
To what?
To the final bid.
Oh.
I just have to finish doing the blacks on here, and then.
So let's see. I thought I'd add some visual interest to my story.
What have you got?
Zane, my man don't dance. He tries. In fact, my friends really used to enjoy dancing with you. Didn't they?
Yeah, but then you mocked me so much because I'm such a bad dancer that I'm embarrassed to do it now. So I'm not as bad as Elaine on Seinfeld, but
oh gosh, no.
But my how should we say, timing is not great.
That's not horrible.
It's probably average dude.
All right, so let's see if I can.
Okay, so the rest of this is pretty much going to be.
So there's
You're getting washed out.
Yeah, story mode. Oh, the no faces. Oh, hey.
You can kind of see.
So that was. So
there's me in the red.
Thorsten is still one of my good friends. He's awesome. So that was in Germany, and then let's see, the infamous. Where were you?
You don't have a photo of me like
enraged, turned into the Hulk. Nobody really knew that, so I probably shouldn't have ruined it.
All right, so here's the. She's digging for a photo. Here's the. That's the inked version. I'm going to do all the gray marker on it tomorrow night. So join me for that. And Caleb, if you're still watching, come by tomorrow night to check that out. Oh, wait a minute.
That was fatter Shelley.
There's Shelley partying in a bar in Germany while I lay wondering where she was in bed. But at least she had a good time.
No, you guys, it's living on a prayer. Yeah. So he came to San Diego.
Yeah.
To surprise. Well, I'm sure he was there not just to surprise me, but surprise me because he figured I was always there, and that was the first time I'd been in 5 years, probably.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then this guy looks like a little bit Marty Feldman. He was so funny.
He's hilarious.
And then this guy, they say, looks like Telly on Sesame Street. I just have so many stories.
All right. Okay.
This one. So that was our first, first time they met me. But I have this thing. Well, I lack a filter that says, don't do that. You might embarrass yourself, or those people don't know you. Don't do that.
Thorsten is pretty well known in collector circles, really.
Oh, I love him.
Librarian Rocks, you're like Foghat. I am.
Foghat.
All right. Okay. That's a 70s rock reference. Come on, you should know that.
I know that.
All right, let's do this. Okay, so I want to throw this stuff out here really quick.
I don't know, Brian. He works for Panini. Panini?
Yeah, Panini in Europe.
Yeah.
And he. Okay, that's the wrong scroll. Okay, so Zane, in case you're wondering, Supergirl is now been bid up to 300. Okay, so that's where we're at on that. And then we also have, so we're at 300 at Supergirl, and this is going to be over in 3 minutes. So this is, your chance.
I'm setting the timer.
And we're at 360 on this one. And Zane, you're the high bidder on this right now at 360 on this lot. So both Supergirl, and I don't think I can put them both up at the same time. We're at 2 minutes, 56 seconds.
I'm nothing but precise.
Yeah, I can't put them both up. So this is what we're doing. That's at 300. That's at 360. And we have 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Well, you got Thor Steen. This is Thor Stun.
Oh, yeah.
Could be different. So close and yet so different.
Gosh, yeah. I think he wasn't at the last two Comic-Cons or San Diego's. Well, of course he wasn't at this one. This year's. Neither were we.
Oh. I feel like I've been sitting on an airplane for 3 hours. Let's see.
See, it could be worse.
Could be raining.
Sitting
it is raining.
On an airplane for 3 hours listening to you and me.
That's right.
You and I.
We're hilarious.
Cue the Europe song. Do 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 do. No, that sounds like.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm reading. Don't you read your comments? I wish there was they had voice, that they could.
Yes.
I guess we'd all have to FaceTime or Skype.
Yeah. There's 23 people watching right now. Wow. So we're down to 1:30. Dun 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 dun.
Oh, we are pathetic.
Luca Biandino is my new subscriber. How about that? Yay.
Yay, Luca.
Heading to Venus, maybe they've seen us. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the group Europe?
Our daughter probably knows.
Zane says stuff all the time. I have no idea what he's talking about. Even like when I'm talking to him face to face,
that's kind of a common occurrence with you. So our daughter sent me a picture today of a Beatles album. Can I buy this? I'm like, do you have money?
I'm like, yeah, save your money for food. Are you kidding me? I asked her if she had a record player with her. She said no. And I go, then if it's not on sale, I said, why don't you wait to buy it till you can actually listen to it? Oh, and her brother's calling. So we have a minute left. I will drop a 30-second countdown on here.
Are you gonna? Okay. Oh, I was just Aaron's doing Aaron Con.
Yeah, Europe, the final countdown. That's right. Okay, so we're still at 360. Zane is our high bidder. And so in other words, you just have to type in the comments if you want to scoop somebody. That's how you do it. Supergirl's at 300. Our high bidder on that is now Matthew James at 300. So Now, Matthew, if I don't have your email, you better email me because I don't know how to get a hold of you. Or you can just PayPal me the money and say what it's for. It's at 300. I'll pick up shipping on it, so you don't have to worry about shipping. I'll do shipping on both these. I'll pick up shipping on both these. So, all right. So I'm going to do the countdown, the 30-second countdown. Here we go. I think it mutes me, but it doesn't prevent you from getting in and bidding if you want to. So remember the high bid on the Supergirl, 300. High bid on this, 360.
My calculator in here. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it is.
That's the Supergirl.
Yeah, I haven't. I was thinking about trying to.
Yeah, Zane, I'll put a little more work on that Wonder Woman and kind of finish it off. It won't take long. All right, so there we go. That wraps it. I know someone asked, Timothy, you wanted to see the Supergirl, but I couldn't play it while I had the countdown going, so I couldn't show it. So it's been going on. You know, you just must have missed it. I've showed it several times during the feed. But anyway, that ends it. So the Supergirl is going to go for 300 to Matthew James. The Zane's going to get the Zane's going to get these at 360, and that will end this portion of our rock and roll extravaganza. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up, but I want to zoom out so that my face is not too freaking close to the camera when I do this. Oh, Matthew, you had the Wonder Woman Red Sun. Okay, all right, cool. Did you see that? Matthew, were you here earlier to see the finished sketch? Because I showed it at the top of the show. I don't know if you were here. I'll get it out real quick since I know you're watching right now. You can't really tell the nuances of the marker work on there. You'll see it in live. But it turned out pretty nice. So I think you'll be happy with it. All right. Hey, guys, that's it. That wraps Aaron Con 5. I don't know if I'm going to do another one for the end of the year. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do an Aaron Christmas special. Okay, it'll be like nothing you've ever seen before. But I will be doing Aaron live tomorrow night. If all goes well, if there's any problems or hiccups, I will let you guys know. I'll post it on Facebook and Twitter. If there's a change, I'll let you know. But it should be tomorrow at 6:30. I'll be doing a Lord Pumpkin in the sketchbook. I'll be doing the Navy Girl for Stephen Ing in the sketchbook, and I may have another sketchbook order that came in during the show. I have to go back and check. And then I'll be markering up this commission that I just drew for Caleb tomorrow, and that'll wrap up all the leftovers from the Aaron Con 3. So anyway, thanks everybody for bidding. Zane, thanks for coming and juicing up the bidding. You know, those of you who bought comics, thank you. Everybody that bought the sketches and those things and ordered commissions and books and everything, prints, whatever. It was a great success. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to drop in and join me and kind of have fun. And we will do it again real soon. In fact, I'll hopefully see most of you guys tomorrow night. So as I look at my screen, everybody's saying thanks and good night. So I will say thanks and good night. And I appreciate it again because I couldn't do it if you guys didn't show up and watch. So thanks again, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night.